All right, guys, welcome back. As usual, today we're just gonna do a breakdown of gold and NAS. I'll definitely recommend to just go through some of the other videos also, just to get a general recap of the simple market structure and strategy that can be used to identify opportunities in the markets at any level. All right, I try to make them really simple, by the way. Not too much information, not too advanced. 10, 12 minutes for the most. Breakdown on 2 pairs. All right, so let's go on gold. So let's start off on the daily time frame. Of course, we should probably delete some of these things here so we can get a clearer view of what is going on. Let me also just change the chart. I believe it's copper stone. Okay, great. So on gold, we have this strong push to the upside. However, the most recent candle was a very strong bearish candle. And the candle today is now bullish. All right, so we could say that the market is overall bullish, had a bearish counter trend, found an area of retracement, and is now going back to the bullish side. All right, so let's see how that looks on a smaller time frame. So we're on the daily. Let's go down to the H4. Again, strong bearish push. We have a rejection here. Prices failing to trade lower than this area. So therefore, support was created. We had sellers emerging in the market, more buyers entering the markets, pushing price to the upside. All right, 30-minute time frame. So now let's just kind of analyze the structure to see what is going on really right now. Okay, so now with this push here, we could also assume that price is just going to be bearish. And this is a bullish counter trend in a bearish move. All right, so seeing that we are on this time frame here right now, and this the most recent price action is more bearish than bullish, we would have to adopt a more bearish bias in this case. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna track the bullish counter trend, see where it ends. All right. Then we have price breaking and trading above this area here. So now, two things we can look for. We can look for price rejecting this area right here and continuing to the upside, looking for a higher level to retrace within the bullish counter trend, or price can break below this area, give us a lower high to some degree, and then we can get in on the lower high, considering the overall momentum to the downside. Or again, if price does give us bullish momentum here, we can look for buys if we get some bullish some bullish variations on the smaller time frames. And we could definitely take some buys or sells again, depending on how structure forms. So it's very important to be patient, wait for the high volatility to come into the market. That should be around 10:30 because of daylight savings. And just double checking the news, there's no news today. There's also FOMC at 3 p.m. Potentially the reason why we're seeing some slow markets, but not so slow where you cannot get opportunities. You can definitely get some once you're able to identify them. All right, so pretty much that is how you can take advantage of the market structure right now on gold today and any day, to be honest. Once you're able to just identify what structure is doing and how you can prepare yourself for what the market may do, which is either go up or down anyway. You are just making preparations so that you don't make emotional decisions and you don't have to kind of think on the fly. All right, you kind of have everything prepared beforehand. You know what to expect, you know what to do when the market presents you when the market prints certain price action, for example. All right, so that's it for gold pretty much. Let's go over to NAS quickly. Oh, let's take that off. Great. So on NAS, well, we're overall bearish on NAS, definitely. We have so much bearish momentum here. Oh, by the way, this is the analysis that we did yesterday. We had some bullish market structure yesterday. And then we had price trading within the consolidation range. And that's when I spoke briefly about taking opportunities within a consolidation range. I think it was a kind of quick breakdown of a strategy that I have on how to take advantage of those. But quite simply, the trade setup was valid. Lower highs were formed here. I believe the price was like literally right here, and I drew this saying that I want to see a break above previous structure, and then a higher low formed, which it did. Price broke above from the higher low, and then we got the entry here. Well, you would have gotten 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio on this trade here. All right, so it was a solid setup for the buy yesterday also within the consolidation range. But so where price is right now, again, we are very bearish. Price is still in another consolidation range. So honestly, for NAS, I mean, we're bearish. We could take advantage of some buys and sells within the range. But honestly, I would say just wait. Like, just wait a couple of days until the new year starts, until we start to get like the holiday season just ends and we have more activity in the market overall. All right, so I feel like that might be there for today. I don't want to keep pushing like consolidation type trades on you guys every single day. But pretty much, I mean, if I had to do it, it would just be these two lines here, showing us that prices are trading within this range, and we just go down to the smaller time frames and identify areas where we could enter buys on the bottom and sells on the top. Right from here, and sell it from here. All right, so obviously you want to look for price changing its current structure. So for example, we're seeing a bearish push here and price is currently touching the bottom part of the zone, all right? So what will make us buy exactly? Now, we need to remember that market structure applies on all levels and structure within a range, well, a range carries its own structure. So it has to be considered a bit differently, if you understand what I'm saying. So we have the push to downside. For us to enter buy at the bottom of this zone, we still need to see smaller time frame structure change to bullish. That would mean we need to see price failing to trade lower, creating some form of support, creating some sort of bullish momentum to the upside, and then forming a higher low, which is bullish structure. Right. So once price starts to form bullish structure, then we could start to look for an opportunity to enter on the smaller time frames, which would be in the form of a bullish engulfing variation or bullish engulfing candlestick. All right, and that's quite literally what we're going to be looking for on these smaller time frames, like the 1 minute. So I mean, we could even just go down really quickly and see if we are seeing. I mean, well, we actually starting to see it already. All right, so this is an example of our entry within a zone. You have again price coming down. You have price creating the lower high, assuming the bearish structure is going to continue to go lower, but of course we are within the zone, so it failed to go lower. It instead gave us a high low. I'm literally drawing out what's going on here, by the way. And now we're seeing price pushing to the upside. We want to see price just like break above this high here, which would give us some more confirmation that there's enough buyers in the market to help push price where we would like it to go, which would be, by the way, stops above below the area. And TPs kind of at the high for this one because we want to get 1 to 2. So I'll just adjust the stops a little bit. By the way, this entry is only going to be valid when I see bullish momentum above this line that I drew here, as you can see where the entry area is. So let's adjust these stops because we want to get obviously a smaller, less distance or less aiming in terms of the reward because there's a higher probability that price may not continue reaching this far if TP is so far away. So you're gonna get a shorter distance for TP basically. So we just make a small adjustment. Again, we want to see price print a candle. over this area here, and then we could potentially start to look to enter into this market seriously. All right, so again, that's another very simple example of how to take advantage of trades within a consolidation. All right, so again, NAS and gold concluded. Hope you guys have a good trading day. If you do catch any opportunities in this very choppy but good market, regardless, a moving market is a market that you can make money in, all right, once you know how to do it correctly. So I hope that this helps, especially with any market conditions that we are experiencing right now. All right, have a good trading day, everyone.